One of the most exclusive clubs in the country has a brand new member tonight, but it's not a club you'd actually want to belong to. Tonight on Laura Coates Live. With apologies to the sound of music, how do you solve a problem like George Santos? Well, no surprise, I think they may have cracked a nut. The House voted today to kick him out of Congress. What's his response? Why do I want to stay here? To hell with this place. I'm quoting him. Now that is the epitome of "you can't fire me, I quit," from the now ex-congressman who just yesterday refused to resign while wearing Ferragamo shoes and arriving in a Jaguar. I point that out because some of the receipts that came in the ethics report. Now he's joining a pretty exclusive club. No, not the college volleyball team. This is a really exclusive club with only 5 members. Well, now they have a 6th. The only 6 members who've ever been thrown out of Congress in the 234-year history. And let me tell you, they are a regular, well, maybe a rogues gallery might be the appropriate phrase to use. You got John B. Clark, John W. Reed, and Henry C. Burnett, who were expelled back in 1861 for fighting for the Confederacy. Also, Michael Ozzie Myers, no, not the one from Halloween. I know I began with the movie reference. I'm talking about a real person here. The one who was expelled in 1980 after he was convicted as part of the infamous FBI abscam investigation. He and other lawmakers were caught up in a sting operation, taking bribes to help a make-believe Arab sheik. Now, fun fact, it was the inspiration, yes, you got it, for the Oscar-winning movie American Hustle. It's Friday night. I admit the movie references are getting a little extreme, but then there is this one. James Traficant Jr., who got kicked out after being convicted of several crimes, including bribery, back in 2002. And that's it. 6 in 234 years. Now you got to add George Santos. I want to bring in Congressman Glenn Ivey. He was one of the 311 members who voted to expel George Santos today, and he also sits on the ethics committee that recommended his expulsion. Congressman Ivey, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me today. I got to tell you, people were wondering if this day would come the second they started to hear about how he got elected in the first place. Is it long overdue or the right time given the ethics report release?
Well, I mean, I thought it was important to get the report out. The ethics committee staff did a fantastic job in doing the investigation. We did, and it took time. They went through 170,000 pages of documents and 40 subpoenas. They did over 40 interviews and depositions. So, we did it the right way. And I think that's an important fact because, you have people who are concerned about expelling someone from the Congress. And I think it was important to show that we'd done a thorough investigation that supported that position. Yet
there are going to be still complaints, and there are to this very moment, about due process. You've been a prosecutor. Your legal acumen is very sound, and you knew this was coming, I'm sure, about the ideas of, well, there haven't been convictions yet. There's a House ethics report. Yeah. There are indictments. Yes, but not a conviction. Should that have been required?
No. And I think the Constitution's clear on this point. It talks about a 2/3 vote as a requirement, which is essentially the safeguard to protect members from being expelled for partisan reasons or, improper reasons. But, I think here, obviously we got the 2/3 vote, but, I think there was way more than you might want to have to make sure that you're putting somebody out for the right reasons. I think the criminal activity, the scope of it, the breadth of it, the venality of it, I thought was really overwhelming. I haven't seen anything like this. Maybe Traficant, but, who also had bad hair days on a perpetual basis. But I think, who am I to talk about bad hair, right? But I think it's really clear that the level of misconduct here warranted this kind of action. Another thing on that point, I think it's important to remember that he got to the office basically on false pretenses. I mean, his campaign was a lie, what he said about his background, his experience, his family relationships, all of that stuff. So a lot of the voters in New York wanted him out. They thought they'd been tricked, and I think they had been.
That kind of undermines the argument that you're taking away or usurping the power of voters to have who they want in office if you're saying they didn't have a chance to know who they were even electing based on his conduct. But also, he could run again, right? This is not
Yep.
the finality that maybe other things would have.
Absolutely. This is like the Tennessee Three. So you had those people were removed from office in Tennessee. The voters felt that they were removed improperly, and obviously they were. And so they put them right back in office. They didn't even have to clear out their offices, basically, before they were back. I don't think George Santos is coming back, and I think he realizes that, and I think that's why he declared a few days ago that he wouldn't run for re-election. But I don't think the voters would have him.
Well, we'll see, because that was a pretty blue district. It was then flipped with Santos. What will happen now, and a slimmer majority. And you got your work cut out for you over the next couple months. But a Princeton man on Friday night. Nice to see you. Congressman Glenn Ivey, thank you so much.
Thank you.